let's
Were
see
you
here.
using like some X265 or something like that? Oh, we're live.
We are live again. Okay, it looks good this time. It looks good this time. I have the stream up on another monitor. It looks good.
Yeah. We're gaming.
Alright, welcome back in to the 3-digit World Cup Mappool Showcase and Qualifier Prediction Stream. Now that we are no longer slideshow mode, I am Dio, also PNG tuber this time, joined by our favorite monkey tuber friend, Knots. Hello, man.
And all that, you know?
Yeah, of course.
I'm here yet again. I'm not quite the same size, you know? It's,
Not quite. Not quite.
It's cold outside.
It is cold outside. It's negative 10 here or something. Quite cold. I don't know why it's this cold in March. It's a bit chilly.
I don't know. You're in Canada, man. You're experiencing the same kind of suffering that I have my entire life.
I expected this in February, not mid-March, man. What's going on? It was 10 2 days ago.
Some of the worst snowfall of the year was this month for me. Like, it was a shit ton of snow.
We got like 25 centimeters yesterday. That was crazy. Anyway, Kirigiri No Mod 1 that we're obviously not really talking about the map all that much because it's a No Mod 1. I don't know what you want me to say. Yeah. We used this map in Roundtable not too long ago. A couple players here might recognize this map from there. We actually have a Nanoya replay for this map, despite Nanoya not being on the replay team nor playing in the tournament, because I just reused the one we had in Roundtable. Further, this map was actually custom for Big Mig Tournament 2, which was a 4-digit tournament about a year ago, and I oversaw this map getting made by Kirigiri. So love to see customs I helped produce get used in other places. That always feels good.
Contributed to the community, you know. We got the canon of tournament maps that get rotated in. Oh yeah, it truly is just jumps. It doesn't even do kicks ever. I think it's half beat sliders, half beat jumps, nothing else.
There's a couple of like funky slider things that go on near the end of the map, but I mean, yeah, it's like very, very light. If that messes you up on this map, you just weren't in for this to begin with.
Also, it's at the end, so
yeah.
Who cares?
Hey, there's a kick slider right there.
Oh yeah, you had a little rhythm there.
Yeah, a little bit, you know.
You had to look at the approach circle. You had to listen to the song, maybe.
Aside from that, this map is very comfortable. There's a couple of spots that look really uncomfortable, but it plays very, very comfortable. 210 BPM, 7.14. I believe that's old star rating and not new star rating. New star rating, this is like 7.0 flat or something. It does get quite heavily nerfed on the new. Oh no, it's 6.95 stars on the new star rating. It's got heavily nerfed.
Oh yeah, I mean this is exactly the kind of map that gets hit real bad by new SR.
All right. On to the No Mod 2 for this pool.
The Dio replay!
It's my replay. Yeah, I'm gonna die on 2 streams in this map, and then hit everything else. So that's fun. Rosa de Andalusia, 191 BPM. That is again old star rating on the screen. New star rating. This one gets buffed to over 7.2 stars. Yeah, aside from that, there's a couple of really wonky streams, some slider jumps that I felt were really uncomfortable, but aside from that, it's just... Honestly, a lot of the streams are really comfortable with this map. I don't think a lot of stream players will be too off-put by anything in this.
I mean, it's not a straight-up No Mod 2 in the most traditional sense. Like, if you take the... I guess Knowledge being No Mod 2 as an example, like, you know, just straight streams. It's not quite that. Quite a bit of jumps mixed in. The streams are not all that long, but yeah. And they don't actually ever get too spaced. Most of the spacing comes from jumps in between patterns.
Until the ending, when the streams do.
Oh
get
yeah.
fixed. Yeah.
That's true. Especially the very last one.
Yeah.
But it's I find the last streams among the more comfortable to play. They're not like angle-wise and everything.
Yeah.
Particularly the last one, as long as you have a good entry. Obviously, it's a stream. You have a bad entry, you're gonna miss the whole thing. So. Which, considering what you said earlier, we may or may not be seeing in this replay.
I had a good entry, and then, yeah.
Yeah,
there
it
is.
happens.
There it is. It happens. So that's no mod 2. It's like you said, it's not like super conventional, but it's mostly unconventional because there's like more jumps than usual in this map and less long infinity streams. But the spacing and the spacing and the curvature of the streams is really standard in my opinion.
Yeah. No, it's nothing too spicy in that regard. It's, you know, well within the realm of what you would typically see in a Nomad 2.
Yeah. All right, on to Nomad 3. It's the new Shinteki Sozo set. This was ranked not too long ago, I think 2023. Low BPM, 149 BPM alt. It's 298 BPM actually. Plays like 149 BPM alt. There's a lot of flow aim in this though. I think a lot of people have grown to expect the kind of like pure snap aim and aim control that you get in a lot of modern alt maps. There's a lot of flow aim in this by comparison, and there is some of that snap aim and aim control. It's mostly in the form of wiggles, like you saw there.
Yeah. There's quite a bit of wiggling, but I don't know, the way all of the wiggles are designed is they're pretty comfortable. Like I find probably out of every map in the pool, this is the one that in relation to what it looks like plays the best. Like it's the easiest to play because it has some real nasty looking patterns that I mean just look ridiculous, but they're actually totally fine. They're very comfortable to play actually. Especially one, there's one wiggle like at, oh that one is one of the pretty uncomfortable looking patterns, but it plays surprisingly well for what it looks like. And I was able to hit it pretty consistently.
But it just plays like a corner stream, right? Like it just plays like a corner on a normal stream. So it doesn't actually play all that terrible. There are some 1/6 in this map, by the way, obviously. You saw.
Oh, that wiggle is the one
some
I was
big
gonna
spacing.
mention. Pretty big spacing, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, neat map. It's, as you said, pretty flow aimy. I guess, kind of vaguely reminiscent of that one Kyusu alt map. Not quite, but in terms of skill sets tested, it's pretty much on the same level.
What Kyusu map are you talking about? Because my mind immediately went to like Meiteki Cybernetics, but that's a Raiho map. That's not a Kyusu.
It's well, that one is like a Kyusu collab, right? I believe.
Is it? I have no idea.
I believe so.
I
don't remember the name of the song. Egomo ID, actually. That's the one I was thinking of. The top of the that one.
Yeah, okay, I see it.
Yeah. There's some aesthetic differences in this one, of course, but in terms of skill set especially, aligns pretty well.
Very long map. It's over 4 minutes long. If you're not consistent at alt, it's not your pick. Or, well, it's
Failure,
Qualifier.
what on
You're not
earth?
going in for it.
What was that?
That was a certified shit miss. I don't know, man. Yeah.
That was so bad.
Rough.
Oh no. How many misses did he have? Does that mean he hits the ending?
I
find the ending to be the most ridiculous thing in the map. I don't think I hit the ending a single time. Pretty sure I hit everything else at least once.
A random slider aim for you there. Love that.
Oh, no, he definitely does not. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that ending is a little silly.
It's pretty silly. It's really, really, really hard. Like, that space of a pentagon, I don't know.
Any other Monstrata enjoyers? Any Monstrata enjoyers in chat?
I don't know. I don't think Monstrata ever went that crazy with the spacing.
I gotta find a map, man. All right, onto Nomad 4. It's not. Hey,
oh
man.
my god. There's one pattern in particular that gated me from getting a better replay on this. Most of my runs had better AC, but it did not matter because I could not combo past a single one of the patterns in this map. I don't remember exactly where it was. I timestamped it in the replay channel, but it's I don't know. It's a very funny rhythm. It's a very funny blue tick rhythm. The classic thing.
Oh yeah.
Mappers do to screw you over. But yeah, pretty typical modern modern tech, I would say, in terms of aesthetics at least. And I mean, mostly how it plays, how map is framed. It's doing the axes. It's following Avalon orthodoxy in certain respects, but nothing too wacky. It's not gonna go real crazy hard on the sliders.
You say that, and then we get these sections. You say that. You say that, Knots. You lied to me.
Look, the standard for me is you need to go way crazier than this for me to start saying like slider tech. I need to start seeing, I don't know, Halgo.
Is this not slider tech to you, or what? It's not a Zar map.
No. I'm not saying.
Come on now.
I'm not saying it's not a thing. I'm saying I find it to be relatively balanced, all things considered. I don't view it to be like hard. You know, this is sliders only. Like that's the main event. Although arguably, I don't know. Okay, maybe
arguably the flow M on this is Bobla, bro. Yeah, I mean, look at these streams. These are like 5-star streams. I don't know.
They kind of are. Yeah.
Except when they're mixed in with these, because when they're in the middle of all this, all right, fair enough. Miss on the streams, but
I don't know. Look, when I think real crazy sliders, I think of Shield. I think of you know, I don't know if you know that map, but
I don't think so. No.
Or you know, Halgo's recent or custom for whatever tournament it was. I mean, Halgo in general.
That's just any Halgo custom.
Yeah. I don't need to be specific. It's just the most recent one he did had some real wacky stuff in it.
I just think of Zar's map of Yggdrasil.
Oh
you know
yeah.
What I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
Think of that. That's the slider fill map.
I mean, it's a Zar. You know, Zar in general is slider fill, so that's pretty.
Oh, I think I found your blue tick rhythm, by the way. I saw you drop an early 50 in the middle of the rest of this.
Oh no, it was significantly earlier. It was
wow.
Yeah. Me dropping AC here is just me being dog shit. Don't worry about it. I was just being bad. Well, and we move on from that into the hidden pool. And yet another one of my replays. I missed on the ending.
Unlucky. This map mostly seems like kind of a mixed bag. A lot of flow aim, a lot of normal aim, a couple of finger control sections, a little bit of reading. Seems like there's a lot going on in this map. Mostly flow aim though. Mostly like a hidden flow aim test.
Yeah. I think it doesn't. It is kind of an everything and nothing at the same time hidden one pick. It doesn't I guess the orthodox view of Hidden 1 would be like in, you know, typical awkward aim jump map or something. Like Russian, you know, Mirage or something, I guess. But I don't find that this map is really that. It's not really what the modern meta has made Hidden 1 either. It's just kind of, I don't know, straddling the line between everything the slot can be, but doesn't go too far in any one direction, I feel. Although, you know, it goes a little further in flow aim direction, but there's pretty long sections of the map like this where you don't really have much flow aim either, so. But yeah, a decent enough hidden test. I think also it being slightly lower BPM, not terribly high BPM, 166, right? The spacing is pretty big, which could be a problem for people not particularly comfortable on Hidden, even if this is a kind of map that's maybe a bit more accessible. I think big spacing on Hidden can just be a bit scary for people. But I don't know, we'll see. This might be one of the easier maps in the pool. I would say so.
I don't think there's anything in this map that's like particularly challenging.
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
sight reading this, you might miss on the, you know, da-da-da patterns in the key eyes, but other than that, like nothing in this map screams like overly difficult.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh god.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay, I'm back and alive.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, no major pain points in this one. I would say, I mean, if there's any pain point, it is the ending, which doesn't really matter, so. We are chilling. Without fail, whenever an Akatsuki Records song is in a pool, you have someone hating on Stack in the Twitch chat.
That's just how it goes. I feel like there's just always gonna be somebody hating on the song for a few things. That's for sure.
I don't know. You know, I like the, you know, cat whose tail was stepped on energy. I don't know. I kind of enjoy it. Maybe something's wrong with me.
It's just a difference in musical taste between different kinds of primates, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is just different
Exactly.
energy, you know?
Us gorillas have a bit of a different take on it.
Yeah. Alright, there's your Hidden 1. Not a normal aim map this time around. Not an awkward aim map either. Kinda mixed bag with mostly flow aim as the difficulty. And now onto the Hidden 2. This map's pretty cool. I like this map.
It's swag. It's epic. It's China. It's great. Put some respect on PW384. Great mapper.
This one's also very long. The Hidden Pool,
yeah.
The Hidden Pool overall is 2 maps, and it's almost 7 minutes. So. And they're another very long map.
Yeah, not just an aim Hidden 2. It's got some notable reading elements. Little rhythm switch ups on the same spacing.
Snap does a really good job of telegraphing a lot of that, though. Like,
Yeah.
New combos, or because the overall density is relatively low. There's a couple of patterns, like these sliders, like I had trouble sight reading those. I just got them all afterwards, though. And the rest of it is mechanics. I mean, during the hardest, quote-unquote hardest, parts of the map, it's it does not do most of the funky rhythm stuff. So you've got funky rhythm stuff outside of the mechanically difficult parts, which is... It makes it pretty accessible, I feel like, for a lot of players. Because you can just focus on reading and then just focus on mechanics.
I mean, the problem is people still get kind of owned by this map. I see when you know, whenever I see a match history where this was played. But yeah, I don't know. I found it even on
that might be that.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
I just recall even on sight read finding this relatively comfortable.
Yeah.
Even the little slider bits, I remember reading those on sight read. It's the NCs help.
Yes. Yeah, they help a lot.
Also, I have snaking sliders enabled,
so do I, but I still can't read those back and forth sliders in the TIs. Those required a second pass.
Also, yes, that is the guy who mapped Guilty All the Same 17 times. That is PW384.
Why would you map that song?
I don't know, but his second set of it that he made pretty recently is kind of sick with it.
Interesting. Well,
it's he made a full set on his own. There's like 6 difficulties or something, and they all have different ideas. It's legitimately interesting. I would recommend checking it out. It's I don't know if I'd recommend the old set. I don't think much of it, but I mean, honestly, I'd recommend this mapper in general. He's pretty awesome. So
yeah, this map's pretty cool. All right, we are done with the hidden pool.
Finally.
Yeah, finally. Players rejoice. No more hidden. We're on to Hard Rock 1, which is another Knots replay.
Knots HR?
Knots HR.
Well,
Knots HR1.
This is more of a... Hey, I'll have you know, the only map I FC'd in OWC Quals was HR1, actually. This is the only map. No, this is going to be a bit of a different kind of vibe for the HR pool. Immediately off the bat. It's a 2-minute or so map, and it is not your conventional HR1. It's going to be kind of a light tech vibe. I don't know. It's hard to categorize. It's pocket. Any Arcasol video enjoyers in chat?
It's like wide angle, awkward aim, slider follow aim. Slight slider reading all through this map. I feel like those were the hard parts for me, at least, playing through it. Like, those sliders are fast, and then you get a repeat slider in here. So you're following the sliders. Their asses are following the sliders during this map. Or
with that one, it's the idea is like you just carry momentum into it, since it's essentially the same length. So that's what makes it very consistently playable, whereas it otherwise wouldn't be. But yeah, it is a pocket map, so it is very, very elegantly designed. It's very visually elaborate. I mean, it's a really good map. It's and even if you don't particularly like the style, you have to grant that it is, I don't know, very clearly intentioned with pretty much everything it does. It's pretty much no single circle or slider out of place in the map, so it's kind of impressive in that regard.
What's this guy talking about with the mapping lingo? All I know are the 2 jumps. I mean, I don't know,
it's swag. It's awesome. I love it.
Let's go. All right.
It's so fun. All
right. Good description. Thank you, monkey. My monkey brain understands now. All right, on to the Hard Rock 2, first Shadows replay of the tournament.
Oh yeah, I mean this is the Reiji Maigo one. It's Reiji Maigo.
Yeah, it's from Court Open 2021, so a couple years ago at this point. Snap is like CS 6.5 awkward aim. It's like fake grid snap. There's some grid snap parts, and then the grid snap just stops afterwards. Like these parts are grid snapped, and then afterwards it's just not. There's some finger control in this. There's some different rhythm choice from what you'd expect based on the rest of the songs, or rest of the song and the other maps of similar songs. Because it's not exactly Cyrito's perfect math class. Turns into Night of Nights here.
It's like a Toho mix, I believe. I don't know. I'm not a big Toho man. I only know all the Tui Hui music from Osu, so.
Same. All I know are in this song Night of Nights and Perfect Math Class.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I can identify. But yeah, those streams that would usually be like a 7-note stream are now a double and a quad. It feels very weird to play on a first pass. I think a lot of people will get taken off by that if you're not practiced on this map.
I'll say I think it's a very effective one for selecting for precision players, because I feel like precision players have a pretty major advantage on this map. It's just like, especially just big spacing like that is so painful for someone who doesn't necessarily play precision outside of tournaments.
Yeah.
It's just really, really hard to be consistent on.
Okay. Hard Rock Pool is also over, and now we go on to everyone's favorite pool, the Double Time Pool. It's actually my least favorite pool, but we don't talk about that.
Listia, we're commentating Osu. We deal in stating the obvious. That's what we do. So.
Speaking of stating the obvious, this map very obviously a lot of symmetry usage in this map. The aim and reading in this play like a 2012 map for me. It's interesting because the tapping does not. The tapping plays like it's a 2015, 2016 map, which is actually when the map came out, I believe. And this was ranked in December of 2016, so I don't know exactly why it feels like it's a 2012 map on the aim, but God bless.
It looks like an Andrea map. Who made this? I'm gonna go double check if it's any name I recognize.
It's not a name I recognize.
It is absolutely not a name I recognize. Okay.
No.
Well, I don't know. Maybe a fan of Andrea's.
Yeah. Aside from the 2012 looking aim and spacing design, it's pretty standard. Outside of that, a little more bursty than usual, for the fact that there's only 2 double times in the pool. So you want DT players to be good at both of the double times. The DT one is a little bit more bursty than usual. This is also 3.5 minutes after DT, so quite the long map. Both DTs are actually quite long. Look at the second DT. It's also 3.5 minutes after DT. So if you're not consistent at double time, might be a little bit difficult. Also, for some reason, the map card at the bottom has not updated. It does show the correct circle size, approach rate, OD, star rating, BPM, length, but the title of the map is just, or no, only the only the picture is not updated. That's interesting.
Oh, on the... Oh. Interesting indeed. I assume it's Gosu memory, the thing on screen. Maybe bugging out.
Oh well. Gosu memory has been bugging out recently for a lot of people. The PP counter on it is just dead. Not sure exactly why.
Also, as much as, you know, there's quite a couple of longer than usual maps in the pool, I suppose, but I don't know, both of the HR maps are pretty short. So, I don't know how well that balances it out, but... Wow! Chili Pear really couldn't just get... Wow, he couldn't catch a break. Or he very much did. He very much did catch a break, actually, but you know.
Average tournament player replay.
That's tragic.
Alright, last map in the pool. It's our first and only Miles replay for this one. It's another, I think this is some kind of Toho remix. It's gotta be.
Oh, it definitely is, yeah.
221 BPM, AR 9.9, OD 10. Mostly streams in this map, but there's a lot of finger control in this as well. Lots and lots of spam doubles later on into this map.
Yeah, pretty balanced stamina fest. Not there are definitely some longer streams, but throws in enough finger control, balance things out. Does have some slower sections like this, where it doesn't go too hard on you.
There's also some funky spacing though. You saw that one space triple during
Yeah.
the slow section. That does a lot of that. Usually they're triangle space triples like that. Those are kind of hard. So not just the stream length, but stream spacing gets kind of funky in this map. I feel like this is like you had camo streams in double time or what? Like,
Kind of. But I mean, it doesn't.
It's not quite the same style.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
You've
yeah.
got a lot of the like Axel D-cell stuff, and there's some much more interesting spacing than usual in this map.
It's just way more forgiving typically because whenever it does it, the spacing is much lower than you'd expect of, you know, a camo map or, you know, public parallel. As a concrete example, it you know, you can have pretty choppy aim and still kind of get away with it most of the time. I think definitely the like the triples earlier and everything where it gets spaced are a bit scarier. Oh, that is definitely one of them. I forgot that was there actually. Pretty rough.
Yeah, there's a lot of high spacing in this map. Yeah.
I did not play this one as much, so...
I feel like this might be one of the lower average scores in this pool.
Yeah.
Like lower average score maps, just because... Well, it's just not bog standard, because you actually have to have a brain on to play this map, and also mechanics at the same time.
Yeah.
So, it makes it quite hard.
Likely to favor certain teams. I don't know if I want to talk about that quite yet. We'll get to that, but...
Yeah, I do think it's a welcome change that the average score on Double Time 2 will be 1 million plus, though. That's always nice.
Yeah.
that's always kind of nice. Especially with this ending. This ending is stupid hard. There's one miss from Miles.
I can't blame him for that one. That's
Yeah,
real tough.
it's the second to last note in the map. Fair enough.
Also, a relatively big jump. It's not on the same pain levels as the two Chili Pear breaks induced. You know, pretty pretty brutal ones.
All right. We are going to have the prediction stream right after this, so stick around if you want to see a few of us do some predictions on where all of the teams will place. But that is it for the qualifiers pool. I know pool will be on the sheet shortly. I'll keep a lookout for when that actually goes live onto the sheet. I don't know if it's exactly ready yet, so it might be a couple of minutes, but we're just about ready to get into the prediction stream, and we should be able to start that up shortly. So don't go anywhere. We'll take probably a couple of minutes break just to get everything ready and get stuff on your screen, and then we'll be in for the 2023 predictions.
Someone outlawed Nick there, yeah. Shouting commands from the side.
I'm just copying Argentina.
We are going, by the way. We are live.
Oh, we're live.
We are
We are
live.
Dog?
All right, welcome back, guys. Hey,
No one
it's time
said
for the
anything,
prediction
man.
stream.
Everything is already scuffed. I don't even see the stream. I don't know what's going on.
Oh my god. We do not have a Discord stream for this. It's just we have our own sheets. Why would we need a Discord stream? Anyway, prediction stream 3-digit World Cup. Hi, Dio, Knots, back, Nick, Shiba, welcome. Hey guys.
Hey, man.
Thanks, man.
What was that?
Sorry, I don't know. I'm here though.
Starting
I'm
off on the
happy.
wrong
This is a
foot
banger
here.
start. This is a banger start to the prediction.
Oh my god.
This
got-
is cursed. This is
You
cursed.
just gotta
All
let
right.
it flow sometimes. You can't point it out, man.
Oh my god! All right, I'm letting it flow now. But we need some music on here. Otherwise, we're just gonna start. Nick, how are we doing this? Are we just going down in alphabetical order, or are we? What are we doing here?
Yeah, let's just go down alphabetical order.
Alright. Okay. What's the take? I think I have a take.
Do you?
I
Hot
think I have a
take?
take, yeah.
it hot or is
I'm
it cold?
cooking. It's it's in process. It's like 70%. DNQ. How about that?
I agree.
I'm sorry, but
it-
yeah.
Here's a more advanced take. DNQ, but they will get 17th like they did like 3 years in a row.
It's I don't know. Pretty painful circumstances. You only have 3 players,
Yeah.
and I don't know that they have the strength to carry them through qualifiers. You know, it might look quite a bit better if you just had a full roster of 6 even, but I don't know, man. 3 is pretty brutal.
Yeah, honestly, I really don't think the amount of players is gonna get them anywhere really. They just don't have any versatility, and they won't really have any substantial scores because they're so limited in their player count. Just most teams, unless you're like the top teams in the tournament, unless you're like like Hong Kong, China, the very popular 3WC teams that are kind of favorites to win. Any other team really cannot succeed with a 3-person roster. And I don't think Argentina are going to make it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you
Just
thinking,
take,
Dio?
DNQ and Phil
Any further
sometime.
thoughts?
Nah, no further thoughts. It's
Yeah.
it's a team of 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm chilling with DNQ.
The players themselves are pretty good from my as far as I know.
Julian
Like,
Call
it's
and
a
Bowmilk.
team
I'm not familiar with Richo, unfortunately, but I am familiar with Julian Call and Bowmilk. I don't think. I think you're asking a lot for
Yeah, I mean
them to perform well enough to qualify here.
No shade to any of the players. You got a 3-player roster. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Go
it's
next
really
year or
hard.
What?
It's really hard. Yeah, I suppose we can move on then.
Yeah.
Australia, much more interesting proposition, I would say.
I mean, honestly, like, I don't think Australia really have a bad roster. I just don't think that they can outshine the bigger teams in the top 8, in my opinion. I think
Yeah.
they get around 9 to 12th, but they do have a solid roster. They have the potential, but I don't really see them pushing hard. They don't have any like kind of massive skill ceiling breaking players, but they do have a pretty consistent core. The majority of them being from OWC.
They have
they're
like
solid
the
players.
typical Australian core. You know, these
Yeah.
are names very familiar.
Yeah,
People
but
keep an eye
I think I think overall, I think if you were to look at all the other teams as well, I think I'm going to put them in C. I think they're going around 9 to 12th. I think they're going to qualify, and they might do some solid. They might pull a few solid maps against some decent teams, but I don't think they're going to go too far. They might win first round, but I think they'll qualify at least.
Unfortunately, based on previous history, I'm obliged to not believe it. Their roster compared to last year is kind of a downgrade, in my opinion. and there are a lot of teams that are newcomers this year, or like have not played recently, and they will qualify in my opinion. They're for sure qualifying at the very least. I feel like this will be the first year Australia does not qualify.
I just saw DNQ on Australia is a pretty hot take, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that hot of a take. I think, because personally, I see them qualifying and going 0-2, which is not that much better. Like, I think if they qualify, it's going to be as a low seed, because I agree with Nick, the roster is a downgrade from last year. That's not... Like, last year's roster was relatively similar. You had Jordan the Bear, Dummy, and Vivace all on the team last year. The other three players were Jordan LR7, Inumi, and Straub. Losing Jordan LR7 in particular, I think, is a relatively tough shake for Australia. I haven't seen Monk play a big tournament in a long time, so he's a very good tournament player, but I have questions about how well he'll do actually in this year. We saw Arbuzin in OWC, very good player, but is not kind of an all-rounder, is going to be very good on the hard rocks for sure in qualifiers for this team, but had some pretty rough times with nerves in OWC that I don't think are going to go away here. And I have no idea what to think of CL, a complete unknown.
Yeah,
so maybe he's the best player in the world, and they win some matches, and maybe more likely an inexperienced tournament player on the bigger stages and has a really tough time. I'm gonna put them C tier, but I think they're like lower C tier. Like they qualify, but in my opinion, they're gonna have a tough time winning a match.
I'll say that's would kind of be my take as well. Like I just think that I balk at the DNQ because I do think they're qualifying. I don't personally. I have a hard time imagining them not qualifying at minimum. Like them going 0-2, okay, like I suppose that's feasible. I think they can take a match. Like I wouldn't rate them quite so low, but yeah, probably a C for now at least. We'll see as we get on down the teams here.
Just as a side note for everyone, there are 24 teams this year, and only 16 qualifying spots. So you have to put 8 teams in DNQ if you're doing it that way.
I might be a little less generous than last year because I was a bit too. I don't know. I was last year the methodology was basically whatever the highest feasible thing is for them. Maybe I should be a bit more reasonable than that, but I probably will.
It does say in contention for it. It does say in contention for it. I think Australia is definitely in contention for qualifying. I don't think they're in contention for top 8, but I think they definitely qualify. Or are in contention for qualifying.
I don't know. I might, if I were going for that, I might put them even in top 8 because I don't know. It's just vibes ultimately, but I see the names on the roster and it inspires some degree of confidence that they are in contention for that. I would think.
I mean, they've got 4 tournament veterans from OWC in there. Like they've got lots of experience. I think that synergy and kind of knowing what their strengths are is a big benefit. I just don't see them. I genuinely think it's more like they're good, but the other teams are just better. That's kind of the mindset that I'm going in with Australia, is that they're genuinely a good roster and they have some pretty solid players, but they don't really have the star players that they have in their OWC team to kind of push them further in, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But generally their core is solid. I just think they have better. There are just better rosters in this tournament that will outshine them, and that's why I've put them in C tier. I think they'll qualify and they might do decent in a few lower rounds, but I think that's the best that they're gonna get against these other rosters.
All right.
I'm ready for Arbuzin to carry them on the hard rocks and qualifiers. I expected double FC Arbuzin. I expect the double FC get in there.
I expect Doomy to play every single map.
Yeah.
Right. Brazil or what?
Brazil is so live. Brazil is so real.
Dude,
Brazil is so real.
They got Mistia and Mouse Easy back on the team. That's
the
sick,
roster.
dude.
It's a really surprising roster.
This roster is better than their OWC roster has been for like the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
they've got some god tier players coming back, dude. Like as I already mentioned, dude, Mouse Easy Mistia, and they've also got Defon's, Kareem, Malico, and Zubs. Like every single player on this team.
Also Nissan is playing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
DASD, WQDF.
Every single player on the team is a name. Like
this team is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Brazil has I think Brazil is in contention for winning.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would even argue that. I don't know. I think my instinct is to put them top 3, just because there's one team in particular that I rate extremely hard. So, you know,
You also
I
have
know
to
already
factor
what
the fact
who's my favorite.
Yeah, you also have to factor in that these are all grandpas.
yeah.
That's true. However,
I don't necessarily think that is a bad thing. I think that experience is often a good thing. It's it's a bit of a different thing where it's like if they peaked a very long time ago and it's very unlikely that they're ever to even come close to that. It depends on what do they look like, what have they been doing. And I guess, I don't have I'm woefully underprepared for this, unfortunately, but I don't have like a real hard take on what do these players play like exactly like at the moment. But I don't know. I mean, given what I know them to be capable of, even if they don't fully live up to that, it's hard to imagine this team not being a menace. Like,
can I just ask, because I know that it says on the combined thing that A tier is top 3. Is A tier second to 4th or top 3? Because I'm a little confused.
no, I think it's in contention for, so I think.
So okay, I'm gonna in that case I'm gonna consider A tier second to 4th then. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
move Brazil
sure.
up then.
Yeah, pretty much that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
the reason I have them S tier, by the way, is because last year, for all the talk about what are how good are these players, what have they been doing, all that kind of stuff. Last year they had still Corey and Maluko, Nissan, Mistia, and Zubs. And then they had Louise and Tones as their 4th and 5th players on the sheet. So you replaced Louise and Tones with Mouse Easy Defons. That is a significant upgrade in my opinion. And they were still top 6 last year. So I think they do better than that this year.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
need to be looking at the last year's rosters.
Yeah, because last year's
definitely
roster,
do
this
better.
is an upgrade for them. This
Yeah,
is just a
no,
straight
it
up
is.
upgrade.
It is.
Also, let's not forget that peak best, the second place in 2020. That's with a 4-man roster.
That
Four
I
of
do
which
I
are
do
on
remember
this
that.
team.
I do remember that. I was there for that. It was pretty hype.
And they took.
I remember
They-
it was
they came
bracket
in from-
reset, right?
Yes, they took the USA to bracket reset.
Damn.
It was really sick. I was there for that. It was really, really tragic watching the latter half of it. Post bracket reset. It was pretty sad that they ultimately still lost, but I don't know. It was a hell of a run.
Canada, what's the juice?
Okay, I'm telling you right now, if Spicy was in this roster, they would be so much higher. I'm telling you that for sure. I don't know what's going on, but Spicy, he's not on the team. I don't know how he's not on the team, but he's such a huge up and comer, and I'm a little surprised.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's whether he didn't play or
No, he played tryouts and
unlucky.
he did not make the team. That is why he is not on the team. He played
That's
tryouts and
that's
there were
crazy.
people who were better. That's why.
True, I guess so. That's weird though. I always saw Spicy as like the guy that's gonna carry Canada in 3WC, but
Yeah, he's not quite at that stage yet. He's very.
I
good.
will
He's
say
up
he
and
is
coming,
very
but
much
yeah.
an up and comer. Like he is.
Yeah, he is an up and comer.
Yeah.
yeah. But I think with that, looking at their roster, I don't kind of see any major opportunity to kind of take away any teams outside of the top 6. Take away teams inside the top 6. Sorry. So I've put let me just get this right. Yeah, I've put them in 9th, 12th. So qualifies. I think Canada going there.
Yeah, I mean it's. I don't know. It's for me. I do think I will ultimately put them in C. but there is a risk. There is a risk.
They have
Especially 8 teams will not qualify. Well, I mean, we'll see.
they have a pretty crazy speed core. They've got Curtis, Vespra, and Too Slow. Like all 3 of them are super strong in the speed department and double time in general. So they're definitely going to speed abuse. I think that's probably going to be one of their primary strategies. But they've also got Yep, Cut Paper, and I don't know who else.
That's the Pro 365 is what that is.
Okay, yeah. I think that team is solid, but yeah, I think their main strategy is that they're going to pop off on speed.
Yeah,
Knowing the unfortunate thing is, given the qualifier pool, there's not going to be much of an opportunity to that. You have to make it to bracket for that to matter. So that's another one of the
which, given the rest of the pool, if they have players who are showing up and practiced, they will. However, I know some of the players on Canada, they're gonna need to give Mario some Scooby snacks or something to get this guy to show up. Like, I feel like this roster is either A tier or D tier, and there is no in between. Like, they're either gonna blow everyone out of the water and defy expectations, or they're just not gonna qualify. But given the last 2 years of Canada's performances, last year not qualifying and the year before going 0-2, I have more faith in them not qualifying than in them busting out the top 6 run. The potential is there. But the last 2 years in a row have been omega flops for Canada, so I just don't have faith in the 3WC roster. The OWC roster is a different story.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna put this team in DNQ because I don't have faith that they're gonna have enough Scooby snacks in the bank to get Mario to actually practice the pool.
Damn, dude, you forget the Canada team spirit buff.
I'm literally from Canada. I know these people. I was like partying with a couple of people a couple of weeks ago from this team, and yeah, I am. The faith is not there.
Dio's farming. He's gonna be in a Twitter clip in like a couple months. You know, he's angling for it.
Exactly. I'm angling for Curtis to see this and to bust Mario's ass on the pools. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you guys qualify. You guys all suck. Get in there.
Look, you gotta have something to hang over them, otherwise it's not gonna happen. That's
right. Yeah, I think this team is like either they do not qualify or they're top 6, and there is no in between for this team. Or they're 0-2. That's also valid.
I mean that's kind of. I guess
like DNQ 0-2 or top 6.
They really have to pop up in qualifiers to get a decent seed. To be honest.
I mean that it's. I think 3WC when it comes to seeding, when it comes to qualifier results, is probably the most competitive of the. I mean, it's only 16 teams qualify, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I think the top end competition is so tough that getting even a mid seed is kind of a. I find much more of a challenge.
I mean, I honestly see the entirety of top 6 like all candidates to win. That might be a bit based, but I see the top 6 in my preds like all of them have the potential to win the game. To win the entire tourney. The game. But yeah. Yeah, I see all of my top 6 as like potential winners of the entire thing. Like the top 6 is ridiculous, and considering that there's 24 teams that qualify instead of 32, there's a lot less leeway to kind of get away with a decent early seeding match.
16.
Like round of 16. Sorry, not
Yeah.
24. 16 round of 16 seeding. It's going to be a lot harder because there's a lot less teams that qualify.
Yeah.
So yeah, my guess is that Canada will qualify and probably go 0-2 like Dio said, or get lucky and get a decent team that they can speed abuse or just generally win on.
Yeah. All right, moving on to a fat roster. This is, I don't know. This is one of the big ones.
No qualify.
Oh, come on, man. Nick, you did not need to bring that up at all, actually.
Oh, no.
TBH, they kind of suck. No trolling.
No.
No.
They did not deserve it. They did not deserve that to happen to them at all, actually. It's,
China honestly had unbelievable potential in OWC to make a run. Like a massive run. That controversy really robbed them, and I honestly feel terrible for the players that
a tragedy.
Really did try,
and
especially Crystal. Can't help.
This is an opportunity for redemption. This is an opportunity to make things right, and I don't know. I love this roster. It's This roster goes hard as hell. It's all the names you want to see. It's Kurumi, it's David, it's Milk Tea, it's Crystal. I mean, what more could you want? It's you do have, and you have Joestar and Jack Wang for the speed. It's incredible roster. They cover most everything.
Yeah.
They have high skill cap, very high skill ceiling. They're very reliable. They really just have it all, I feel like. It's one of those teams that is a contender to win. It's
So
one of the teams, one of the main teams to look out for, and one of the teams I have the best hopes for. As I don't know, for some reason, I feel like East Asia is just insane in 3-digit World Cup, and in particular, I feel like you can't go wrong with picking one of the East Asian teams in 3-digit World Cup as one of your favorites. And yet again this year, I mean, I feel like pretty much every single one of them is a heavy hitter, with I guess notable exception to Japan, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Just gotta pray for no scheduling issues, because as far as I know right now, Jack Wang is still in Germany. He's studying there.
Oh god.
And
Oh, perma 15.
Dave-
He's so doomed.
Yep. And
Oh,
David
it's
is
so
in the
doomed.
US.
No. Look, it'll work out. It'll work out.
David's in
Well,
the U.S.
well,
Kurumi's in
believe.
the U.S. One of them's in Germany. The other three are in China. Oh, it's so doomed.
Look, well, it's just given these players, like, they will make it work. They will go out of their way.
I think
to
I'm
make it
definitely-
work. Like,
the
they
schedule is
care.
doomed.
They
The run
care
is
a
not.
lot about this, and they will try to ensure that, you know, even if they have to play at a very uncomfortable time, they're gonna do it. Like, they're gonna try to push for this tournament. I think. I don't think you can expect them to just insist on like some ridiculous, totally not feasible time. Like, they're gonna, and I mean, yeah, it will probably be like 15-16 UTC or whatever, but it's just, I don't know. Even if it has to go out of that, I think they'll go the extra length. I don't think it's gonna be like players who take it a lot less seriously on certain other teams where they'll just say, well, I'm not showing up. Like, I think they'll show up. I think they'll do everything in their power to show up. It's yet another reason really why I rate them and value them, because I think they take it seriously. So
Honestly, like, not only is China one of the most well-rounded and stacked teams in this entire tournament, like 100% in my opinion going to get top 3, but they're also far and away the hungriest team. The hungriest.
yeah. I mean,
Like-
I think, I mean, man,
I think there's only one.
I think
other
all
team
these
that
players want to
can
win.
consider
Yeah.
them.
I
They
think all
want
these players wanna win.
revenge for
They want
OWC,
revenge.
and
Absolutely.
revenge from last year losing 7-5
Yeah.
in Grand Finals. A
Yeah.
really close match. They want it.
I believe in this team. I rate this team, and I think I will have several teams in S. I think that's the one I'm mostly going to be thinking of the in contention for part 4, and yeah, I'm putting them in contention. I rate this team real hard.
Yeah, I think this is the year China wins against Hong Kong, actually.
Yeah, I think it's totally
I can see it.
on the cards. I'll
Yeah.
say that Hong Kong is,
Just-
spoiler, probably also going to be an S for me, but
Right.
yeah.
Obviously, they won last year.
Yeah,
The roster
yeah.
basically the same. So
Yeah.
That also is an upgrade.
the thing that for me
Yeah.
puts China potentially above them this year is the subs out on My Angel Anzu and Shizaki Kanon for Jack Wang and Joseph Joestar.
Yeah, I like this better.
And then also, like, Kurumi and David have just gotten a lot better over the last year. Like, they're just
Yep.
straight up way better.
Yep.
And that's not necessarily like a roster upgrade, but the players are just much better for China. Whereas for Hong Kong, MCY4 has gotten a lot better. But I
Yeah.
haven't seen as much of like Suwagi actually playing tournaments recently as we get
I will say, yeah,
stream refresh.
I feel like MCY4 has taken up his slot as like the big Hong Kong name in the tournament scene for the time being. But I mean, yeah.
Right, should we move on to the next team then? Because I think we've said what we need to say.
Yeah,
about
I
Yeah.
think.
China, super stacked, super hungry, one of the contenders to win. Let's
Yep.
move on. Let's move on to Germany.
Germany. Well,
The
I'll,
only things I can say is that Kruller and Shark are gonna destroy. They're gonna absolutely destroy.
yeah.
And
What
they
is
have a
what
they
is
have a pretty
Shadoo's
solid back.
OBS doing? What is
Cool.
happening right now? Hold on.
Something wacky going on stream. It's,
It loaded Spotify on the stream.
Oh, there we go.
Another the playlist.
Dude,
Fantastic.
what is happening?
Also, go back to the cursor parking, Stu's. There you go. Alright, Germany.
Yeah, as I
I don't know
mentioned
what to think about
before,
this team.
as I mentioned before, like Krilla is the guy in this tournament, and Shark is also a super good tournament player with massive potential to kind of join Krilla in that huge carry spot. But they also have some really good backing players. They've got Rising, they've got Rundy, they've got some good players, man. Like I honestly see these guys as getting top 6, top 5, with the potential to maybe upset some of the higher teams if Krilla pops off. Krilla might do some Krillin time, if you know what I'm trying to say. We'll have to wait and see them, but yeah, I think these guys are a really solid team.
I think Kriller will perform well. I'm highly confident.
Absolutely.
It's just for me, the problem with this team is, as much as Shark and Kriller are good, especially Kriller, I don't know that the rest of the team really lives up to the standards of the 3WC. I don't think they're a terrible team by any means. I think they're a mid-pack team. I think they're not a top contender like they are in OWC. I just think the competition is too tough for this 6-player roster against, I mean, especially these, like, you know, Hong Kong, China, South Korea. I just think, you know, the kind of Brazil, the kind of teams you see in the top 4, top 6, I don't know if they can compete with that. I do think they're guaranteed to qualify, in my mind, and but you know, not of the same caliber as you see in OWC every year, where they're a contender to win and like they make grand finals every year. I don't know that it's up to that standard.
Yeah, it's just not, because they don't have like any of the big heavy hitters that Germany usually does in OWC, and the rest of the team is kind of meh, and the roster is half the same from last year. Like all of the quote-unquote core players are the same from last year. You have Kriller, Rising, and Shark coming back from last year.
Yep.
Then the backup players last year were KHZ, Anroys, and Willie. The backup players this year are Rundy, FX, and Akarnya, and I don't feel like that is any kind of significant upgrade for them. So I just have a sinking feeling that they are going to exit in semifinals weekend, either top 12 or top 8, so I have them B tier.
Yep.
Because they were 7th, 8th last year with a roster that is largely the same. The core players on that roster are largely the same. And so, yeah.
I'll say Rundy. I mean, Rundy is a name that I know has been around, especially in 4-digit scene a couple months back, but I don't. I mean, I haven't been keeping close enough an eye, so I'm not terribly familiar with what you know, his skill sets are and like what he plays, what he offers to the team. But yeah, I will say the one like solid piece of information I believe I have is they are not good at low AR hidden. I think hidden 2 is like a permaban. I'm pretty sure. Based on tryout results.
Entire hidden pool, I think, not just low AR hidden.
Okay.
And
that's the
I've
one in
also
particular
heard-
that like I was told. So
Yeah, I've also heard a couple things. So my faith is a bit lower than the rest of the call.
Yeah,
And
Okay.
also other teams that
Are you
ranking.
calling them like 0-2 or what? Because my faith is they make top 12. Beyond that, it's
Yeah.
entirely
Well-
copium.
yeah,
It
same.
is
same.
entirely possible that they go 0-2.
Okay. That lowers my faith a bit. I might put them down as C tier. High C tier, because I think they're probably still top 12.
Interesting.
But frankly speaking, I didn't have much faith to start with. So
Okay.
I think I'm a little bit more on the hype side. I honestly think that Germany's the best team outside of the top 5. I think I think they're gonna outshine teams like Indonesia and Canada, and maybe other teams like Poland. I think they're gonna outshine them, maybe by a close point, but yeah, I think so.
I'll
It's
say
a little-
that
it's a little
mine
bit,
is
it's a little bit based, but I do think that Germany do win. I think they do. They can outshine.
It's a very funny turn of phrase that's a little bit based.
It's a little bit based.
This might be a little based, but
Yeah. No, I'll for me it's straight like in contention for. I'm not necessarily like it's not about optimism or pessimism. It's about just this is kind of what I believe them to be in contention for. I'm not, you know.
Okay, you know
They
what,
could
actually,
they could go 0-2. They could go 0-2, but I think they're in contention for more than that, and I feel like good enough about it to put them there. So, yep. I think move on to Spain then.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
move on to Spain. Where are we putting these people? I'm gonna put them in B tier combined, because yeah.
Oh yeah. Seems
Alright.
like it.
Spain.
Spain.
Head empty, no thoughts.
Pain.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
head
sorry.
empty, no thoughts. Sorry, Spain.
Yeah. Well, it's just there's Antonio, but I don't know if. I mean, I don't really see Antonio like what he's doing in tournaments nowadays, and I don't think that any of the other names in this roster really live up to what is going to be demanded of them in a tournament like this, unfortunately.
I like Spain. I think they're a cool team, but I don't think they're gonna qualify. I think just barely though. I think they're close. I think they just barely miss it. But yeah, they do have the majority of their OWC core. You know, they've got Antonio, Manolo, Abeja, and
Harmonia is staple.
But yeah, I don't think they're gonna push just far enough to qualify. I think there's too much competition for them.
Yep. Yeah. Pretty tough. I don't think there's much else to say on that, unfortunately. So I think we might as well already move on. In fact, but yeah, France. What are we thinking? I think at least the first 4 names I'm seeing here quite strong. But you know, maybe a bit of a downgrade to last year. I'm gonna have to check these just to make sure that I'm not making a terrible name change mistake here. But yeah, no,
there's no name changes as far as I know.
Yeah,
It's
okay. So there's no room on the team. Is basically what I'm just.
Yeah,
making
no
sure.
room?
Yeah,
No
no
Thunder.
room, no room, Civic.
Yeah. No room, no thunder is pretty painful.
Yeah,
I'd
that's
say.
a pretty big nerf. That's a pretty big nerf.
Pretty big nerf. It's just not what you want to see. I think if you just add them onto the team, I think it changes a lot. Like I think it really changes their prospects in this tournament. But given that they're not there, as much as I really like Musty Okoro, Flasty Hefkill, great players, especially Okoro, of course. I mean, goes without saying. Just a monster. I think in this kind of a tournament, they, for me, also end up kind of falling in the middle of the pack, kind of like Germany. It's a bit of a downgrade from last year, and not going to be quite as optimistic about it. I think they're B tier.
Yeah,
feel
same.
like
I don't
the
really have
team-
much to add there. It's a slight downgrade from last year, and the slight downgrade from last year means they're probably top 8.
Yep.
Yeah,
They're
probably in the
certainly
same boat
qualifying
as
early
Germany.
stage. Yeah, very much in the same boat as Germany. I think I'm more optimistic about France than I am about Germany. I definitely put more faith in France than I do Germany. But yeah, ultimately kind of fall in a similar spot.
Yeah, basically the same deal as Germany. Like Ekoro is the Kriller, but I feel like France just has a better backing in the rest of the
They
team.
do. I think they do. They have a bit broader of a. They have more players that stick out to me as reliable and kind of able to fill out these rosters. So, yeah. I'm satisfied with that. We all happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have basically said exactly what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
they've got a good trio, but aside from that, I don't think they can do far. Like Okoro and Mossy kind of have to hard carry.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay. Well, UK.
Hey, UK Doctor, I need BNs. I need BNs.
Guys, okay, guys, listen, they're my homeboys, so I can't put them in D and Q, but God, it's close, man.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
Nick, there's literally 2 BNs on the team. What the hell?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, there are.
I mean, you
S tier. Can I get a nom?
Oh man.
they've
Can I
got,
get some
of
BN
course,
mod?
it's quite clear that they've got Kingling, but there's also a very notable loss here. No Malteser, and that's because he's on Team Poland.
He's been
Malteser-
stolen away.
Malteser could have made this team bump up just a little bit better, giving them just a little bit better of a 4-man core, but it's just Kingling removed from the original OWC team, and they didn't really do too well last year in OWC. I'm not too familiar with D-Line or Moonpoint. Not too familiar with those guys. I know
Moonpoint is Apollo, I think.
Yeah.
It's a name change.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, you might know.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I know Eyster. Eyster's not too bad. He's pretty good. But yeah, no, UK is struggling this year, I think. They haven't got any major Sable players aside from Kingling, who can kind of hard carry and kind of outshine other players on other rosters, other top players. So yeah, and of course no Maltesers are a massive hit. So yeah.
I'll say I found myself wondering why Listia is not on the roster. I mean,
I have no. Is Listia is 3, isn't she?
I'm pretty sure she is.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure she. I mean, I have to assume she played tryouts. I mean,
I mean, she was captain for last year, so I mean, I just assumed that she's
didn't
either
pass
chosen
tryouts.
not
Wow.
to play,
Okay. Didn't pass
or-
tryouts apparently. That's.
Damn.
I'm very surprised by that. Very
Yeah.
surprised, especially given like
No,
that
she's
I am
trolling.
totally.
She decided not to play.
She did. Oh.
Oh,
Okay. Well,
oh.
I figure like because I've never heard of Raimi Hakure in D-line. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but it's just it's very very surprising.
This is
not.
a team where I know 2 players as tournament players, and I don't think they compete with the like 2-player strength duos in the rest of the tournament.
Mhm.
And then the rest of them I have heard of not as tournament players, if I've heard of them at all, which for me is just DNQ. Like if they qualify, they go 0-2, but qualifying is
Damn.
questionable.
I have the
That's it.
Brett Hopium, okay?
Clearly.
I believe in my boys. I have the Hopium. I hope they pop off, and so I'm not putting them in D and Q. But
Nick really is going for the nepotism. I just saw that.
I need BNs.
He's actually doing it. This guy. I can't believe you. You're
He's
so
social
weak.
climbing, guys. Let him cook. Let him cook.
Yeah, oh my god. I think I'll. I don't know. This one's hard for me. I want to be optimistic. It's hard. I'll be optimistic for the time being. Let's say that. I'll put them in C. So we'll see how I think about it later when I have to start thinking about which 8 teams are going to be eliminated. But
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Well, Hong Kong. Here we are.
Man, these
Hey,
guys.
guys.
Where are we
so
putting them? Are we putting them in C or
good.
D? I
Hey,
think we're putting them in C.
These
for now.
guys are so hecking good, man.
It's HK. It's
Yeah.
I already said earlier. I already spoiled where I was putting them. I am totally convinced, utterly convinced that they can actually take it again this year. I don't know why anyone would ever doubt that. They're beasts. They're awesome. They're sick.
I'm just saying because I know that my list looks really different to everybody else's. I'm doing my list kind of based on like orders because it would feel a little bit too kind of clunky for me. But in my eyes, the top, like everyone in the top 6 are like super strong. But I'm putting them in like in a kind of like order of like where I think they would be, not really the potential. Like unironically, like everyone in A has the potential to be S. Like I would put them in S if I was following the same category.
Yeah,
but-
you're following the strict thing.
Yeah,
of you
I'm
only
being
want one team in top 1. I understand
Yeah,
that.
I'm being a little more strict about this, so don't think I think Hong Kong are actually they're not that good. No, they are that good. They are
Yeah.
that good. They're absolutely ridiculous. Like Suwagi M, Suwai 4, Shiara Yuki, these guys are literally basically the same roster, but buffed because MCY4 is just 10 times better now.
Yep.
He's so insanely good. I haven't seen Suwagi play, but I can imagine he can back up what he did last year.
As much as I have not seen him recently, I haven't been seeing him in tournaments. I just don't really believe that you just lose everything if I don't see you. Like, it's, you know, tree falls in the forest, did it really happen? Like, I don't know. I think he's still good. I think Tsuwagi's fine, probably. Given the caliber of player he is and given what I've seen historically, very, very difficult to imagine that he's not going to show up.
Yeah,
so
I definitely agree.
I don't... I'm not going to... yeah, I mean, this team is the same, but arguably better. And really, they already won last year. I don't even know if they needed to be much better, but they are. So, easy S, easily a favorite to win.
Simply put, they will be the first 2-time champions.
Yeah,
Damn, they're
probably.
going hard.
No, yep, probably. Like, I know I said earlier, this might be the year that China wins. Keyword might. Hong Kong is probably still better. Probably still better and probably still wins. Because they also subbed out Nazar for Shiraha Yuki, who is just better. So, yeah.
It's gaming time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Hong Kong still wins, and they just win again. Yeah. That's pretty much my analysis. Is their roster got better, and they already won last year, and they kept the other 5 players the exact same. So, like, I don't know who else is even close to being better than this team, aside from, like, China, who is probably the only team that can compete with Hong Kong at all in this tournament.
I'd say there's one more roster that I think has it, but
I do beg to differ, but we'll move on to that
team
when it comes. But yeah. I do have a team that I think is number 1, and I don't think it's Hong Kong, even though they have the potential, definitely the potential. If I was to genuinely kind of use my crystal ball and predict who I think will actually win, there is another team. But Hong Kong are absolutely insanely cracked. If I was to make a genuine prediction, I think they will get top 2. I think they will get second. Yeah. That's my genuine prediction.
All right, moving on to Indonesia. A team with a whole lot of name changes, I believe. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, this roster is basically the same as last year. It's just they've all renamed to VTubers. Hakui Kuori has been Hakui Kuori for a while. But I remember I saw Delon's still on the roster, Dito on the roster, Mindfrost Ideas on the roster, Rexy's is on the roster.
Yeah, I put the notes on the team info tab that we have. So
Thank you.
Can go there. Yeah, they I did warn them about the name change. I was asked, like, right at the sign-up sentence, and I said, commentators will hate you.
Yes, we will. Yes, we do, in fact.
We very much do. Christ.
Yeah. I mean, this is a good roster. They have a lot of relatively good players. This is a pretty similar roster to the one they had last year. Obviously, Krez is not there anymore. But aside from Fuma and Krez are gone. But the rest of the roster has been replaced with relatively good players anyway. Although now that I look at it, no Fuma, no Krez, because those were the main 2 like carry players for them last year. So
What's that? I mean, I don't know. Isn't Dito? I don't know. Dito and Dito Rudo.
TBH
strikes me as like core, but I mean Krez as well. But...
TBH, hate to be base, but I honestly think they just barely missed top 8. TBH.
Oh man, wait, really? What?
Yeah.
They might go 1-2.
They do. They do have a good roster. Don't get me wrong. In fairness, I am probably the most uneducated one here in the group, but I did quite a bit of research last night. I was kind of looking at the teams. I was really thinking about it. I even compared some matchups as well, and I was really thinking about it. And on top of the seeding situation, and on top of how so many teams in this tournament have had massive upgrades, I think granted, it's close, but I think they just barely miss out on top 8. I do have a huge like kind of twist team in this tournament, which I might get hard flamed for. I might get Giga flamed for this, but you'll see when the time comes. But yeah, I think Indo just barely miss top 8, but it's close for sure. They do have the potential to make a funky upset run, but I think they will do like a 1-2, like Dio mentioned. That's my prediction.
I mean, I think they're.
I think you're being much too pessimistic about this team. I don't know. Like
This is their OWC roster minus Ro and Fuma from this year, and the OWC roster got top 12. So I'm not going to predict them much higher than that, but I think top 8 is pretty reasonable.
Look, I just think that 3WC is different, and I think that given the what that roster looks like, this is a kind of tournament that they look better in. I even significantly better in. So I mean, maybe I'm just being overly optimistic for them here. I don't know, but I have my hopes up for Indonesia. I like Indonesia's team. I think they have it in them.
Simply
Would you say they have that dog in them?
I don't know if the VTuber name change team has the dog in them. I don't think they do. Yeah,
The power of super chats, guys.
It's not the right team for the dog in them. They really don't have it. Look, they have something, but it ain't the dog. Like it's something else.
They got something.
Yeah. We'll have to think about that one.
All right. Lads, thoughts on Israel, guys? Thoughts on Israel?
I'm sorry. I love you. I don't know. Look, the fellas. Mr. Potatoes, super chill guy. He's a cool dude. I haven't talked much to Chip and Painted Koala. I see them around in a lot of tournaments. Very active players. Pretty strong players. It's a 3-person roster. They're not well-rounded enough. It's DNQ. It's DNQ. I'm very sorry. You fellas do your best. It's I love you.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, yeah.
I think this is one of the best non-6 player rosters. Like I legitimately think this team is actually better than some of the other. Like I think this team does better than Italy. This team might even be
I don't know if I go that far. I think
qualifiers.
Italy has Kurochi Dem.
Okay, true. My bad. Not Italy.
Yeah, look.
Definitely better than like. I think they're higher than Argentina. I think they're higher than.
They obviously are.
Uruguay.
They are.
I think they're the best. They're without a doubt the best 3-person roster.
Yes.
But that's not saying much because it's still only 3 people. So they are.
Rough. It's a little rough. I would argue they are better than the 4-person roster of Uruguay. There's potential for that. I think that's totally a feasible take to make.
I think.
Great players. It's just not gonna be enough.
Great players, but there's only 3 of them. So
yes.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the obvious like severe lack of flexibility with the 3-person roster, they do have really good players. Like these are probably their best players from OWC this year, and they definitely have potential to maybe upset, but I don't think they'll qualify. I don't think they have enough flexibility. You know, just the qualifiers needs flexibility because you're playing legit every single map, dude.
Yes.
And, if you can't perform well and have the players who perform well on certain skill sets like other teams do, then you're not going to perform well. So you're going to have to hope that you can either hard carry or pull some clutches because this team, despite being solid, they do have weaknesses. And you know, if you're trying to qualify with a 3-person roster, it's so hard. You don't get
away with significant weaknesses in this tournament. That's the problem. This is not you. If you have, especially if you have more than one significant weakness, already you're starting to look at DNQ. I think you need you need some to be on a certain level average across the pool. It's tough. So, yeah. I mean, we'll see.
I have them currently in qualifying, but I'm just betting they'll do their usual thing and they'll just qualify 16th. Like 32nd every year in OWC, and then they take points off of Canada. Not Canada,
honestly,
USA.
like,
Same
really
thing.
Oh
surprised
right,
you got-
yeah, no,
Wait.
that did happen. That was
Yeah,
sick.
they're gonna do this. That's just gonna be like.
That was sick.
I'm really surprised
might
you
be
put
really
Israel over Australia, Nick.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't
think
Australia
Australia
understand that.
destroy them. I think
Yeah.
Australia legit destroy them.
They do.
If they care to play the game, they do.
Well, look,
No, I mean they have so much more flexibility.
Nick,
I
you're
mean,
Nick, you're
come
not
on.
you're not
I am
entirely
cooking.
wrong, but I think you're being a bit. I don't
Okay, but consider the following. Last year I was the only one who predicted C tier USA. Thoughts?
Oh,
know. Well, look,
okay, Nick.
broken clock's right twice a day. Okay, I don't know. Moving on.
Yeah,
It's,
twice.
Italy. What do we think?
Italia, woohoo! Yeah, 9th, 12, I'd say. They're good team,
It's,
but they get outshined by top 6 and top 8.
Yeah, I think
Pretty
Italy is at risk of not qualifying, but I think I will be optimistic about this and actually say that they will qualify. I don't know, it's kind of tough. This is very much a roster that in my mind relies on the core 3 to really show up. I don't know terribly much about the 2 other players, unfortunately, so I can't say how well they cover any potential weaknesses. Definitely tapping is like the major weakness for Italy, like notably going to tiebreaker against Turkey in OWC this year. Although arguably kind of a result of the pool as well. But it was basically Italy would take a point, Turkey would pick a tapping map and then win. And it was just exchanging that until tiebreaker, where Italy proceeded to shit on them on the tiebreaker. But I don't know. I will say they qualify.
I'm gonna put them in DNQ because they don't have 6 players.
Okay.
That's my entire reason. They don't have 6 players, they don't qualify. Sorry. This
Okay.
tournament's very competitive. There's only
Yeah.
5 teams without 6 players. They don't have 6 players, they don't qualify. I will say that they definitely have probably the best non-6 player roster.
Yeah.
So like, if
yeah,
any team without
definitely.
6 players qualifies, it's probably Italy. But I still don't think they qualify.
Yep. It's a fair argument. I mean, I know I'm gonna have to revisit and think about what I'm gonna put in D tier later, anyways. But for now, I'm gonna be optimistic about Italy. I think they have it in them. I think they're certainly in contention to qualify. But yeah, Japan, folks. I'll say that I intended to look into more into this team, some of the unfamiliar names on it, since only 2 names really stick out as familiar. But I was otherwise occupied last night. I was not able to, did not find
He
the
was
time.
drunk.
But I look okay. I literally, you say I was drunk. I had 2 beers. I was out having dinner.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
I had a dinner. Okay, it was nice. But I did manage to look at one of the players. So I mean, to get out of the way first, everyone ought to be familiar with Rollpan and Invoker. People probably have heard those names before, especially Rollpan. 2 notable names in the tournament scene. 2 kind of staples, solid players. But then you have 4 names that you've probably never seen before. And
Yeah.
Yukin is the only one that I managed to see anything of, because helpfully his entire Twitter feed is just clips of him playing the game. It's a constant stream, and it's all speed. It's literally all speed. So I think I know what kind of player Yukin is. But these other names on the roster, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, honestly, guys, I've never seen of Corsair Fatigue.
Yeah, yeah.
Never seen that guy before.
No,
He was known as Sander 817.
Yeah.
If that name rings a bell, good.
Nope.
I don't know.
Doesn't
Sander
ring
817
mine,
has
but,
very,
you know.
it has very Japanese handle energy.
Mhm.
This one-
Yeah, it does.
This one, I don't know what it is, but it gives me old head stack name change energy. But
Yeah.
no one is gonna get that reference. But you know.
I got that reference. But, yeah.
Thank
was
you.
there. Yeah, I don't know. This team is like Rollpan and Invoker, and a bunch of people I've never heard of before. So I give
Yep.
Rollpan and Invoker enough credit to make them qualify. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
I'll say I don't know who played tryouts. I don't know what that looked like. But if you had more recognizable names that were filtered out by these new names, then I mean, you know, and I will say, like, it's a team captained by Rollpan. I don't know. There's got to be some juice. There's got to be something, man. There can't be nothing. I don't know. I will be, I will be, you know, tempered in my enthusiasm, though. I'll go see.
And let's also not forget that this score of Rob and Invoker, even though it says 7-8, their 2 losses last year were tiebreaker against the top 2 teams, China and Hong Kong.
Yeah.
To be fair, Japan
Look,
lost,
I don't know.
Kind of cut.
To be fair, their roster last year
Their
was
roster
also
was insane.
Hyphen, Hong Kong,
Also
Kinecon, LaPlus, and Tichy compared to 4 people I've never heard of before.
Yeah.
Like,
Look,
I am not comparing last year's roster.
yeah. Last year's roster was.
Last year's roster was way too good to compare to this year's. Sorry.
Yeah.
That is also true.
Yeah.
I will say,
not
like,
comparing them.
I'm sure these players have something in them. It's just very hard to imagine that they live up to the standards of what Japan was last year. They had a very, very tragic run. Given how good their roster was, the fact that it had to end up that way was very sad. But
Yeah, it should have been their year.
it should have been their year.
Top
But
3 in our hearts.
Yeah.
honestly, yeah. Like
Honestly, yes, they were so good.
They were really, really, really good. I believe last year I was optimistic about them as well, but this year, yeah, gonna have to temper my expectations.
Yeah.
We'll see what the new players end up showing up with. I mean, I'd love to see them put on a performance, put on a run, because, you know, maybe some redemption for last year.
Maybe. We'll see.
But yeah, huge name coming up. Bomb, nuclear bomb incoming.
South Korea.
Hecking Korea, dude.
This is a hell of a team. I don't know. This is one of those teams.
So insane.
This is one of those teams that I'm very optimistic about, and I believe I'm putting an S. I really like the look of this team. I think they have it in them. And I think just in general it's likely to be a South Korea kind of year in the World Cups, especially this one in OWC.
I'm only putting them in A because that's my top 3. I'm keeping Hong Kong and China because that's what I believe is the grand finals in S tier, and then like the rest of A tier will also have. They just have a chance to contest them.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's fair.
S and A are pretty much the same. I'm just using S as like what I believe is going to be the grand finals.
Yeah, South Korea's roster is unironically insane. I mean, they've got quite literally like the majority of that OWC roster, I think, plus was it Spectre who wasn't in the OWC roster this year?
No, 3 of these players were not in the OWC roster. Those players are the last 3 on the list. MX 10007, Spectre, and Allegrissimo were not on OWC.
Oh, okay. I'm getting confused with their Corsairs roster, but regardless, like this team is genuinely so good. Obviously the core of Worst HR play, the duo of Worst HR play and Amamiya Kokoro is huge. You've got Nope KJK,
My boy.
who's an absolute veteran. Jean Woo Young, who is such a good all-rounder, super good all-rounder. Are you sure? Are you sure Jean Woo Young wasn't in the OWC roster last year?
Jung Woo Young was not on OWC this year.
Damn.
Yeah, that was one of the surprising things to me, given how well he played in Corsairs.
Okay. Oh well. Well,
He looked awesome in that.
Regardless, though, Jean Woo Young is a super good, flexible player. I'm expecting him to kind of join Worst HR player and kind of duo carrying the majority of those maps. Same with Amamiya Kokoro. I think these guys have such a good, all-rounded core. And yeah, I mean, Spectre and Allegrissimo are just the cherry on top. I think these guys are genuinely going to win. Of course, like the hunger from OWC last year as well. I think these guys are probably slightly, maybe not as hungry as China, but still very, very hungry. And I think the South Korea is kind of the winner in my eyes. I think just barely, though. There's always potential for another team to win, but I'm going for South Korea to win this. I think they have such a strong roster, and Worst HR player is gonna hugely pop off.
Yeah.
People, of course, people are gonna be like, yeah, but Contra like hard Giga carried them in OWC. They're not that
Well,
good.
no,
Like,
I think everyone has to.
That is
Everyone
not
has
true.
to. I think everyone if they didn't know him before WC, they know him now.
Yeah,
I think it was abundantly obvious. Like even, I mean, especially because in some of the final matches, when Karcher couldn't step up on like hidden maps, especially, worst HR player was there to do that. And
I mean, I mean, the point is right. Like, despite Karcher carrying an OWC and worst HR player kind of being right behind him, you know, the Bengi to his Faker, if you know what I'm trying to say.
yeah.
You know, this core is still really good. They got second place for a reason. You know, it's not just Karcher. In that OWC roster, like these guys are so good, and Amamiya Kokoro as well. Like, despite kind of unfortunately kind of bombing at the round table qualifiers, still getting third in the qualifiers there was still huge. And I think despite that kind of unfortunate result he got, he's still got massive potential to pop off. And I think this is the tournament where he's gonna win it for sure. I think that's why I think they're number one. I think they're gonna win.
Yeah. I'll say I think my favorite out of the 3 teams to win will still likely be HK, but I mean SK out of the 2 other teams I have in S is kind of the odd one out in terms of expectations. I understand having slightly lower expectations for South Korea, but yeah, I too am rather optimistic about their chances. I think they can really be a threat.
Yeah, I would consider myself like slightly based, but I have a lot of faith in SK. I really think they're gonna pop off this tournament.
I never thought of
think
base as a scale. It's a thing.
I think you guys are overly optimistic about South Korea because I think you're overestimating. I think you're underestimating how much of an impact Karcher had in both Corsace and OWC last year.
Oh no,
he was
yeah
the reason they were even close to winning.
It's just
except for the second round with worst HR player popping off, but
it's
worst HR player was in for like half of the maps in OWC. Right?
I'll say
he cannot go in for half of the maps, and that is a significant problem for this team when you're looking at going up against some of the other real heavy hitter contenders in this tournament. I don't think that makes them bad. I think that makes them not in contention for first, which is a pretty significant difference. I still think this team is like comparable to Brazil. I still think this team is really, really good, but I think that you are overestimating how big of an impact the other members on this team had compared to what Karcher was able to do in the 2 major tournaments last year that generated a lot of hype for South Korea. So I think this team is very good. Yes. Top 1 contender? No, not in my mind.
I'll say that at least partially, this is based on a belief that many of the players on this roster will look even better because, I don't know, there's been a trend of pretty much, you know, the first 4 names on this roster at minimum, and honestly, I think you can even include Spectre. Every time I see them, they look better. So, part of it is a belief that coming into this tournament, they will, again, look even better. And I think that, obviously, Karcher played an undeniably, like, outsized role in carrying them, but that again 3WC is a little bit different, and I think given the breadth of the roster, you have a lot of strong players here who are continuing to improve. I think they can get there, they can be there. I guess the challenge is they don't necessarily have the top end hyper carry potential that you can see on China or Hong Kong. It is an optimistic prediction. I'm not necessarily like, this is the weakest of my S tier predictions, arguably, but I don't know. I'm putting myself out there. I'll keep him there. It's yeah.
I'm not gonna understate Karcher's value. Like it really was invaluable. Like genuinely, he was insane, absolutely ridiculously insane. I think it's more of my mindset with this is that like South Korea may not have like a hyper carry. They may not have Karcher in that lineup anymore. which is obviously unfortunate. But I mean, granted, he's fucking one of the best players in the world. No wonder he's not going to be in this roster. It's 3WC.
Yeah.
But like my mindset with this is more like it's 6 really good players against other rosters of like 4 god tier players and 2 okay players. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing more of a collective average, like higher average in terms of their full roster, rather than kind of looking at the hyper carries. I see South Korea as similar to teams like China, who, I mean, yeah, sure, they do have Crystal, that like the hyper carry, but they're both in my opinion kind of similar, where every single one of their players are genuinely super good, but maybe not good enough to be kind of ultra carry potential like Karcher. So yeah, that's kind of my mindset with South Korea, is that all of them are really, really good. Maybe not god tier, but still really good. And I think that general kind of spirit is gonna get them through it. I have a lot of hope for this, and you may call me over optimistic, and yes, it is a little bit crazy that I think they're gonna beat Hong Kong and China, but I genuinely have faith in them. I think that Karcher's insane impact that they did in the Course Ace and OWC roster is yes, it's crazy, but that shouldn't undermine how good this core is in South Korea. Even if Karcher isn't there, I still think this core is really solid. And on top of that, they don't have as much dominant competition. You know, in OWC, Karcher had to, fight players like Utami and Whitecat and Krilla. And yeah, you have to go against Krilla, to be fair. Forget Krilla.
Well,
Krilla's irrelevant, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You don't have as many hyper carry players in this tournament compared to Ost World Cup, generally. That's why I think they're better.
All right. I think we've hashed that out and can move on to the Netherlands. Likely to be a bit of a quicker one. I mean.
Yeah.
Yep. Cock.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I will take the blame for the Netherlands because I didn't tell them when the signups opened.
Oh.
Rip.
2 out of 3 from the roster signed up in like the last hour of signups.
What?
Well,
Oh no.
actually, no, I think only
Blame
Dolter. So yeah, blame me.
Yeah, I don't know really anything about the names on this roster as well, so I kind of don't have any reason to say much about them. It's yeah. I don't know what to say, man.
Another 3-man roster, and I don't really know any of these players.
Yeah, Dolter is a name I've seen. That's all I can say. It's truly, unfortunately, that's all I can say. That's part on me as well, but yeah. Okay.
Should move on.
Yeah. Move on to Norway.
Move on.
Another one that might be a bit quick. I don't know. What do you think, fellas?
Norway. Well, they don't have 6 players, therefore.
This
DNU.
guy.
Based or based? What's up?
Theo
man?
is literally just like, no 6-man? That's an L.
I mean,
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, look.
I mean,
Their best
about
performance.
DNQ.
Their best performance is DNQ number 23 last year. Yes, I think this roster is probably better than that, but at the same time, they still ain't got 6 players, guys. I don't know. Yeah, you know. I think like Italy and Norway are the 2 teams that you look at with less than 6 players and say, okay, they can probably qualify on a good day. But
Yoke's probably is 4-digit?
Yeah,
Yes.
did you not know this?
Shit.
He's been
Did you not know
4-digit
that Yoke's Pie is
forever.
4-digit?
Like
He is permanently 4-digit, bro.
he has never not
Permanently.
been 4-digit.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit,
Yeah.
my bad. This is me being uneducated. I just assumed Yokes was either just too high or just didn't play. Damn. My
Oh, wait,
bad.
actually, wait, we still have Uruguay to go through. Hold on, I need to move one of these teams up on my list. Hold up.
The UK has a full man roster.
That is true.
Canada
Canada and
also.
Spain also have a full 6-man roster. I'm gonna move Spain up. Get Spain up.
What?
Yeah, big up my bro from Spain.
Dio.
Wait, why is Canada in D tier?
Because I think they're gonna flop. That's all.
dog?
I mean, look, we went over
We
that.
discussed this already.
We
discussed
totally
it.
went over
Rewind
this.
the VOD, bro.
Discussed it.
Rewind the VOD. I definitely outlined why it's gonna fly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
I
well,
didn't realize that you put them in D tier until now. I didn't listen. My bad.
I'll say
Dude.
that for Norway, I don't really have my hopes up either, unfortunately. I think it's a D. I don't see the roster really performing well enough on average across all the maps to qualify, even though they have some strong players on there. Melver, Fjell, two pretty big names, and Chaotic Turtle, Korean, I think are also two names you see in the tournament scene. But I don't know. But
Move on then.
yes, I believe so.
Move on. Poland.
Poland.
Let's go,
Poland.
Polski. Let's go, Poland.
This is a roster.
It's so real. It's so alive.
Where's Malashevsky, guys? Where's Malashevsky?
Where's Malashevsky?
Poland is so living right now.
Where's Malashevsky, guys? Where's Malashevsky for this
Where's
team? What's going on?
Malashevsky?
Where is he? Where's Vaxe? Where is Vaxe on this team?
I've put Poland in top 6. Yeah, I think they're super solid.
They're good.
They've got a really, really good lineup. I might be underrating them, to be honest. I think I'm being a little pessimistic about this team, but in fairness, they got such a good team, such a good team. I think everyone recognizes every single name in this team. I think, honestly, I'm being a bit criminal when underrating them like this.
You definitely are.
You
You're definitely being
seriously are.
incredibly criminal.
I'm being a little criminal. The thing is though, like they get 5th. I think they get 5th, top 5. That's what I think. I just think there are slightly better teams, but it's close, man. It's close. As I said, like the top 6 are all so stacked, man. Like
I mean,
can't-
yeah.
It's so hard to put like a specific
Bro,
like,
Poland is part of the reason top 6 is so stacked. I don't know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. Hold on here. Hold on. Let's get on the same train here. They are part of the reason why top 6 is so stacked, right? Like,
It's
this
true.
Is a team,
It's true. Yeah. No. Yeah.
This is a team that is just this roster is disgusting. Like
I neglected to mention the name earlier, but absolutely
Yeah.
they are. Yeah.
Bartek, Malteser, Marek, Michny, Toyastara, and Wypan. That is a roster that has potential for top 6 in like any open rank tournament, let alone 3-digit World Cup. Like, I don't know. This roster is part of the reason why top 6 is so stacked this year.
As long as they don't do the Poland flop, we're good.
Exactly.
It's
This
I
roster
have
is either like top 3 or 0-2, right? That's how it goes.
I guess
the
it's kind of
Canada
a similar Canada situation,
However.
but I have much more reason to be optimistic about this team. I think.
Yeah.
It's
They
much
don't
more
have
reason.
Wolf to contribute to the coin flip, so
Mm.
it's much better than usual. Much better odds.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say. I think it's just kind of a
agree with
given.
that,
You look at the names, menacing.
They are very menacing. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I mean,
menacing.
Wypan is probably the newest player on the team, and he's already, definitely made a name for himself. So that's,
Yeah.
great player.
Okay, I might change my top 4 then. I think I'm gonna wait. I think I'm gonna swap Poland with, because I originally had Brazil 4th and Poland 5th. I think I might swap that.
I mean, hey, you're allowed to be different. You're allowed to be the odd man out. But
I mean, yeah, I know, but Dio's kind of convinced me a little bit.
No, mine are in order. I still think well, actually, maybe Brazil moves. Maybe Brazil swaps with Poland. The more I talk about the other teams, the more I think Brazil might be flopping. in
I mean,
comparison. However,
Oh.
I mean, can we just unanimous? Can we agree that SK, China, and Hong Kong are top 3 at least?
maybe I think
Yeah.
Poland might be better than South Korea though.
I don't know.
I
Maybe
think I
maybe it's just
disagree.
bias, given historically what it's looked like at 3WC. I don't know. It just seems like East Asia is so good in
That's true.
3WC.
That's true.
I just on that basis alone, I'm
Yeah, I think
kind
I'm
of am
gonna-
inclined to put South Korea as top 3 at minimum. So.
Yeah, okay, analyzing. Okay, looking at the rosters again, I think I am gonna swap Brazil with Poland. I think your idea. I think Poland actually have a genuinely insane roster. They roster was insane, but I think I undershot it a bit. I am gonna swap that now. Because yeah, they are kind of insane too.
You're putting Poland in B tier. All right, that's not what I said. How?
No. Listen, as I said, B is listing of top 8, so I put Poland in 5th.
Okay.
Poland
Alright.
were top 5 on my list. Okay, like S is number 1, A is top 3, B is from 5th to
I see.
12th. Yeah, sorry. Just to clarify that again, yeah.
Anything else to add, guys? Or are we moving on?
No, I think that's it. I mean,
What is it people say? Polska Grom or something?
Let's go,
Polska Grom.
Yeah. It's stuff like that. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Russian Federation.
Russia.
Okay, let's look at this.
I don't know
Oh, what is happening with this roster? What happened?
Russia
There was
is
a
a bunch
few
of
things.
newcomers.
It's
the new generation.
I don't know what's happening. I mean, Temka Na is in Dahuchka.
Yeah.
Recognizable,
Yeah.
of course, but
They have a backbone, but it is a rather new gen roster.
yeah, I don't have much to say about these other names. I think
Okay,
I've
I'm
seen
looking at the
Menuhin
roster.
Welter
I'm looking at the
around.
roster last year, and I'm looking at the placement last year, and I'm putting them in C tier.
I will say, like, yeah, the last year's roster looked a lot better, and I mean, God, you lose test. Wow, yeah. You have
last year's
Gamer
roster
22
was
Din,
Din, Gamer,
Decoration,
Maniwa,
Tester
Russian, Temkana, Tester Pinka. Like
Yeah, like
the-
what? How
Yeah,
did they
the
get?
only one that stayed is Temkana, and he was arguably like low mid tier on that roster. So
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm honestly surprised they were 13 and 16th last year. That's
I'm very
really...
surprised they were 13th, 16th.
That
however.
roster looks way better than that, but
There's no countryless teams this year though, so that
there
does
is
play
there
a part
isn't.
in
Yeah.
it.
I
Although
do.
countryless West was or did countryless East also qualify? No, I think countryless West was the only one that qualified. So.
Yeah. No,
Oh, I see why Russia was 13th, 16th. They immediately got matched up against Indonesia and then got matched up against Poland. That's a bit of an L. That's a bit of an L. That
I'd
kinda
say it's
sucks.
not quite as bad as Japan, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but
it's not
still,
great.
Still, that's a rough bracket. Anyway.
I am putting Russia. Oh fuck, that's Brazil. My bad. Wait, let me copy paste the Russian. Let me copy paste the Russian.
I'm never letting you cook ever again. This is
Don't let him cook.
not happening.
Take away his cooking
The
privileges.
fuck this guy cooking, bro.
Yeah, it's not happening.
You know, I'm putting Russia in C. I'm putting Russia.
All right,
in
we
C.
have all put Russia in C.
Okay,
Glad it's unanimous.
the time has come.
All right, Knots. What's up with Sweden this year? What's
Look,
going on, man?
I mean, if anyone was gonna have all the deets, it's probably me. So, or you know, any given person on the roster.
Yeah.
Well, I think the major name on the roster that people ought to be familiar with for, you know, excellence in tournaments will be Skilla. I
Yep.
think has been excellent this past year, and shown himself to be a top tier player in international tournaments. Had some spectacular performances. And definitely the carry player of the team. Gonna be the big name that Sweden is gonna have to rely on. But there's two other names on this roster other than Saika, which we'll get to. But I just want to upfront kind of mention them as not nearly as... I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if no one is aware of them outside of the Swedish scene. But Lightwine and Spinks are both quite strong players. Not going to be as well-rounded as a tournament veteran like Skilla or Saika, but very high mechanics skill cap, especially on Nomad Hard Rock. And I'll say also this is a pretty Nomad 2 roster. I think that's like their major map that it's they have a lot of depth on and a very high skill cap on. I don't know if the pools are going to be conducive to, you know, allowing them to abuse that, but then Trumpetino and Jagiko are like the speed. They cover the speed. So that's That's what the roster is. And Saika is, a well-rounded player coming back. Someone people ought to be familiar with. If not as a player, then as a tournament host or staffer. He's around a lot. But I think they're solid. I think there's a larger range of possible kind of results for Sweden than a lot of other teams. I think Sweden is famously hard to predict. I think Sweden is one of those teams that can really overperform and do a lot better than people might expect us to, or do a lot worse than people expect us to. But like last year, we had that match against Brazil. That was actually pretty close. I think they were missing players, but I don't know. You take what you can get. We also upset Countryless West last year. But yeah, I guess it's a bit of a change from last year roster-wise. I'm not on the team for one. I failed to farm. Sorry.
L.
Anchor.
L.
I mean, I started farming only the last week. It's kind of my fault, but yeah.
Yeah, sorry, dog. I think I DNQ.
No.
Sorry, dog.
I am going to be optimistic. I will say that just based off name recognition, wow, that was spectacular. Name recognition. I understand underrating this team, but I think people don't understand just how good Lightwine and Spinks are. Hopefully, they'll be able to show up and prove themselves.
I do hope I get proven wrong. I do hope so.
I think Spinks already showed some decent performances in OWC. Lightwine did not sign up for OWC because, I don't know, he doesn't care. So, but
Don't care. Don't care.
Lightwine is awesome. Lightwine is really sick.
So
I think.
I'm looking at 9th, 12th the last 2 years in a row, and I'm looking at the roster, and it's 4 of the same people, and I'm thinking it's probably gonna be 9th, 12th again. So I'm putting
Yeah.
it in C tier.
I can't blame you for it.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Is they were 9th, 12th the last 2 years in a row, and they got 4 of the same people on there.
I'll say
and,
if you look at the matches, I think we could have done better. We definitely could have done better.
Okay, but that goes for a lot of teams.
It does. It does.
I don't think anybody plays at like their 100% in every tournament match.
Dio,
right?
I'm the
So-
Swede in this call. What do you expect?
I know.
I'm going to stick up for the fellas, okay?
And I am the naysayer. I am
The
the
voice
fuck
of
you.
reason.
So,
Yeah,
exactly.
Shut up, man. No, yeah. I'm putting them in B. I believe in the boys. It's yeah. What can I say? I believe in them.
Okay, I might bump it up because everyone else is saying that they're higher. I genuinely only know Scylla and Saika. I don't know anybody else on this team. So I'm very uneducated on this team. So I just kind of assume I didn't really know how good these guys are. So I did put them in D and Q because I didn't recognize their roster. I only knew Scylla and Saika, and I didn't think they were too significant compared to the other players in the tournament. But I might bump them up just a little bit.
I'll say Nick did host Nordic Suji, so he has,
I don't.
Okay, but the thing
He has an eye.
I don't know who to swap because I'm gonna have to put a team that I put in 13th, 16th to D and Q. So I don't know who to put. So I'm kind of stuck at the moment. I'll keep them in D and Q for now. But I might bump them up to C tier.
Okay.
I might bump them up to C.
Whatever you say, man.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Any Thailand enjoyers?
Thailand.
Wasn't
I
Thailand?
think
Thailand will qualify.
Thailand is
will
interesting,
qualify.
and I think they will qualify. Yeah.
They can get even further. They have a banging roster.
I will say I'm largely only familiar with Deppy Force and Les Perry, but they qualified for OWC this year, right? Or last year.
They played OWC and they got to hold on. I have to find Thailand. Yeah, they made it into the quarterfinals weekend of OWC.
Oh.
Actually,
Okay.
they went 1-2. They lost to Singapore, and they won against Mexico, and they lost to Australia round 1.
Okay. Well, no,
Lesperry is also Jesus. So.
Yeah, he kind of is. He's
Yeah.
pretty awesome. He's pretty sick. So
Thailand is like a team that's constantly improving.
Hmm.
So that like right now they're at their peak, and they will
Yeah.
be even better by next LWC.
yeah, this is another one of the picks where I'm optimistic about their improvement to shake things up and, you know, make for even better results. So, yeah, I put them as qualifying.
Dude, this is such an education diff. I don't know a single player except for like Depiforce.
Yeah,
I
this
don't
is
know
just the
anyone
education
else.
diff.
This is
I
actually an education diff. I don't know any of these players.
yeah, I follow
We went-
rank
we
restricted
went to-
tournaments around 4-digit because that's my rank, so I know who Lesperi is.
Yes.
And based off
yes.
of Depiforce, Kadama, and Lesperi, I think they can definitely qualify and maybe go like 1-2.
Yep,
Okay.
that would be the prediction for me as well.
Asia supremacy.
I mean, yeah.
Fucking oh god, Dick. Oh my word.
Look, I don't know. Asian teams.
Oh.
I don't know, man.
That's
Asian
true.
teams
I
are
mean,
good to
hey,
see.
three
Okay,
people
does
step
They're
everyone,
good, man.
does everyone here believe that Thailand outshines UK?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, all right. I'm sorry, bros. This is just an education diff, but I am going to swap UK with Thailand.
Wow.
Um,
Oh no.
I'm sorry to
Oh.
betray my brethren.
I can't believe you've done this.
Don't great background again. No, I can't.
Oh, we now actually move UK down to D tier overall. We've got
I'm
three
very,
people with
I'm
UK
very,
not
I'm very sorry.
qualifying.
I love the UK, but this is literally just a process of elimination problem, and
Yeah.
also an education problem because I'm probably the least informed.
Decolonization.
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm gonna, dude. Someone else is gonna have to go down to D and Q. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have
yeah.
to think about that too. We'll
Yeah.
we'll see.
Actually, wait, no, actually not true. Actually not true. It's fine actually. It's all good. Sorry, UK. But yeah, if you guys want, we're willing to move on. If you guys want.
I think that's it. Unless somebody else has other stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, no. We can
We're
move
chilling.
on to Ukraine. Okay.
Guys,
So they
They
have
did not play
Magnetic
last
Gamer,
year.
Magnetic Gamer, Raf GPO, Dench.
Yeah, Magnetic Gamer, Dench, Ref GPO. Yeah,
It's kind of gaming. It's
they
I
are
don't know.
definitely gaming. They are definitely gaming.
I think they look pretty solid. The problem is I'm not sure how they stack up to the rest of the teams in the tournament, and I'm not familiar with the 3 other names on the roster, unfortunately. So it's even given that might be a DNQ. I'm not sure. It's hard for me to say, but
If you put Ukrainian DNQ, you're trolling.
guys,
Look,
I'm
yeah.
just
I don't know.
saying. I'm just saying they nearly beat Hong Kong in OWC. I'm just saying.
I will
just
say
saying.
I totally blanked on that. I totally why I don't know.
Well, no, they almost beat
No
China
recollection of
in
that.
OWC, and then
Oh, China.
Oh,
they
China,
almost beat
sorry. Not
China
Hong
in
Kong.
OWC, not
Sorry,
Hong Kong.
Not Hong Kong, China. Regardless, they nearly beat
Regardless.
China, guys. I'm just
Yeah, yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
They're kind of good, kind of underrated.
Mm,
And Ref
I don't know.
GPO is
I
also
will
super
be
good.
having to make some decisions about my tier list here. Mm. Oh man, what am I gonna do about my D tier? What is gonna happen there? I don't know. I have no idea.
I've
Well,
got 'em
guys,
right where
it's
I need
okay. It's okay. Let's just go with what we've got now, and we can rearrange and kind of debate our options here. Maybe we can talk about exact results and where we think people are gonna exactly play, so we can maybe unanimously agree.
If I'm putting
you guys
if I'm
want.
putting Australia and Germany in C tier, I'm putting Ukraine in D tier or in C tier. Excuse me.
Mm.
They seem about the same.
Okay.
Yeah,
Should we
yeah.
talk about the US of A?
The bomb, the last bomb.
The U.S. Look, I think it's DO hours. What's up, man? What are we feeling?
This team's pretty good. It's a bunch of OWC players. Well, actually, 2 OWC players. Takate and Taquito from the OWC team. Fiery
Mostly
Rage is also
Boshi.
there. He is basic. Oh, and Boshi, excuse me. Yes. So 3 OWC players, Fiery Rage and Trail Mix, and Lugia. Lugia is actually pretty good. Very solid player. Got on through tryouts over people like Chillier Pair, who would otherwise be a pretty good addition to the team.
Yeah.
So, El Chillier Pair.
Oh, rub it in, will you? What the hell?
So I think this team is pretty good. I think that they are like. I think they're like one of the better USA 3-digit World Cup teams recently, which is not saying much. They went 0-2 last year, but that was kind of a flop year for the US.
Yeah.
I think this team is good enough to compete with the other A-tier teams. I mean, let me put it that way. I think that they are a leg up on like France, Indonesia, but they are not any better than Poland, SK, Brazil. Like, I think they're about at the same level as those teams.
Yeah. Okay.
I think USA are top 5, but by a pretty close margin. I think Decade and Takedo are gonna do super well. Boshi, we know Boshi for how unbelievably good he is on tech in general, and Fiery being the captain and super experienced. Yeah, Gimmick as well. But yeah, I think Decade and Takedo are gonna be the main carriers on this team. Decade like serious. Oh, excuse me. Decaden seriously proved himself in OWC. You know, he went from unheard of to one of the most entertaining players to watch in tournaments and just gameplay in general. He's so good, and I'm really looking forward to how well he's going to play alongside the rest of the US team. I think they have the ability to contest maybe teams like Brazil and Poland. I don't know about China, Hong Kong, and SK. I think they lose out just a little bit. But I haven't seen much from Lugia. I don't really know much about his skill set.
Yeah, that's the name. That's why I immediately asked you, because I've never heard of it.
Lugia, Lego Kami. Just Elo Legend.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't ring any bells for me either.
Okay,
So.
unlucky.
Yeah. From the plays that I have seen of him, very good tech player, very good stream player, and just in general, pretty good all-round player. Was able to win United States Cup in 2022 with South California.
Okay.
Yeah.
And South California.
Pretty solid all-rounder team. And Lugia also pretty good on speed. So they have multiple people who can go in for multiple different types of maps. It gives them all of the like top team choices about like, okay, do we want this player in for this or this player in for this? And you have
how is their speed roster? This speed roster is not particularly good, right? Like
the speed roster is good actually. They have Decaton,
solid.
Trail Mix, Takedo, Lugia for speed. They have 4 players who can play speed maps. They also have 4 players who can play tech maps, and 4 players who can play aim maps, and 4 players who can play pretty much anything. It gives them options on that, which is nice.
Speed was the only thing I wasn't entirely sure about. I mean, even with just the 5 first names on the roster, this is already a super good team.
Yeah.
So I just speed was the only thing I wasn't entirely certain about. Definitely the kind of names on the roster where they cover pretty much anything. So, yeah.
I think in general their most prominent skill sets I think are probably going to be tech and hard rock for sure. I think those are the 2 main skill sets that they're going to excel on really hard. But generally they're super versatile. They've got Takedo for that hidden skill cap stuff. Yeah, they're definitely going to go far. As I said, I think they're going to definitely contend well with the top 4.
I don't think they're going to flop this year.
No, definitely not. This is like one of the biggest glow ups I've ever seen in
no, look, I mean, last year
the roster was good. They just
last year was an anomaly. It was look, it's not even just the I do still think that this roster looks better. But last year was an anomaly, to be fair. But yeah,
any other thoughts or head empty?
I think it's head empty. I don't know. They're good. They're good. They're A tier for me. I think this upper echelon of Asian team is still going to best them, I believe. But they're up there. They're definitely up there.
Yeah. I think we said enough about USA. Definitely have a huge potential. Should we move on to
Uruguay.
which
No
I
thoughts
think,
had MTD and
yeah, kind of an easy last pick here.
Do not underestimate the players on that roster.
No, they have good players, but as Dio said,
I'm
don't-
sorry, Dan. I'm sorry, Dan. I'm sorry, Rebo.
Yeah.
I'm
Sorry,
sorry,
guys.
Bennett,
You
Walter
got
Rebo.
6 players though.
You guys are
Elf.
good, but I don't think it's going to be enough, honestly. They do have good players though. Like I will not disagree with that. It's kind of similar to Israel, where they do have impactful players, and these are probably the most impactful players in the respective OWC rosters. But dude, like, how do you expect to be flexible and let alone qualify with 4 players? You just I don't think you will, man. Like
Yeah,
they're
given the
good,
competition,
and yeah, that too.
it's a big ask. It's a big ask. It's yet another instance of I rate some of these players. I just don't think it's possible. Like I don't see it. They should have had like a 6-player. I mean, honestly, even with a 6-player roster, I don't know if Uruguay can get anything together.
I think
That
they
would
would
be compelling
qualify if they
enough.
had a six-player roster. I think they would
Maybe. I
qualify.
don't know. I'm not entirely sure about that, but they don't have necessarily the depth of other countries to draw from. So it's kind of a similar situation, arguably, with Israel, but I don't know. I think Israel probably covers more skill sets. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this one.
Okay, well, we've covered all of the teams now for our opinions. Should we decide on kind of unanimously what the most likely order will be? We've got the combined like kind of tiers, but should we kind of
I mean, I need
it?
to start moving stuff down to D. That's the thing I need to think about
Okay.
right now. I
Yeah.
need to move 2 teams down.
Well, I haven't really decided on like an order. I've just kind of filled it in. Like I've got a couple blank spaces in my C tier. We just like fix that first and foremost, and then I gotta change up some people. Like I want to put Hong Kong here and then there. There we go. So S and A are done.
I think I've got mine in.
I'm gonna
about
put-
the order that I want them.
I'm gonna put Germany over Ukraine.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Our combined list is just an in contention. I now have my pick'ems list.
Yeah.
I want to keep mine as is. I want to believe in all these teams.
Yeah, I kind of do want to keep contention
Yeah.
for at least for the higher ones. I do want to
If
have
I were
prediction for
believing,
eliminations.
it would look like this. If I'm believing, if I'm a believer,
He's
Yeah.
he's a
it
believer.
looks like Germany goes up, and Japan does not go up. Australia maybe goes up.
Yeah, I
um,
think Australia are
I think
good.
it's like
man.
Germany, Australia go up, and then like maybe Ukraine also. Maybe Thailand goes up. I don't know. Unironically.
I think yeah, I think.
And then
Ukraine
anybody
and
with
Thailand are
6
both
players on their
super.
roster goes up here. If I'm believing, instantly. Is there anybody else with 6 players on their roster that I put down here? I don't think so.
UK.
You've already put UK up there.
I already
Canada.
put UK up there. UK,
UK,
Canada.
Canada.
Italy?
Yeah.
Oh no, Italy
No,
are
Italy
five.
has 5 players.
Yeah, never mind.
Okay, Netherlands, Israel, Argentina. Yeah, no, all of these only have like 3 to 5 players. And then I would put like these 2 up here.
Are you able to swap
that's my
cells?
believer
I
list.
suck at Excel. Can you swap cells, or do you have to like copy paste them back
I'm
in?
just copy pasting stuff.
Okay.
Just Control Shift.
Yeah, Control
D
Shift
and V.
V.
Wait, Control Shift D?
Control
V.
Shift
V.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, I think I have mine in no particular order. I'm not necessarily ordering them within the tiers, but
Well,
I'm
I'm
chilling.
going to smile. Oh shit! Wait, have I? Okay, you know what?
Nice. I see
Wait,
a
what have I
Germany
done?
flag where it's not supposed to be. It's-
What have I done? Undo. Undo. Who pasted Germany in that? What have I done? I put it in the car park. The hell?
Pay no attention to the car park.
is just Germany. Smile.
Alright, yeah, I've got my list how I want it for the believer list.
Yeah, the believer list.
The believer
have,
list is in.
I too have my. Oh, you're going hard believer list. I decided this year at least I'm gonna be.
Oh, yeah, yours
I'm
is
gonna
a
at
little
least
less,
put the teams in
yeah.
personally, but it's just because maybe I was a bit too optimistic last year. But
Yeah.
I don't know, it's nice. Now you're the one. You're the optimist.
I'm the optimist.
Hold on, I'm just doing a few finishing touches here. I think D&Q doesn't really matter. I mean, I can put.
GG to those 8 teams in DNQ.
I don't know.
I
You
can-
have a certain team in DNQ. I don't want to see there, but you know.
Sorry, dog. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
I
think
can't.
it
I
is.
can't abide by this.
I don't think it is what it is.
Guys, stop it. You know I'm the least smart guy here. Come on. I'm kind of dumb. I can't picture in my head Sweden being any of the teams in C tier. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
They're
I'm sorry.
gamers, man.
I know they are. They're gamers, but I don't
Sweden will remember this. Sweden will remember this
the
slight.
Alamo.
Yeah.
Every
This
single
is
person in the
Sweden's
Swedish community
Alamo.
is, every single person in the Swedish community is like Shiba's over party and just
Yep.
Yep.
yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, this Shiba guy sucks.
Yeah, who is the Shiba guy? Honestly, 50k, trash. Doesn't even know what he's talking about.
So true.
Imagine not being pointed.
You're gonna have haters. You're gonna have. It's the nature of these things, you know. It's
Yeah. And ironically though, this was super fun, super fun.
Oh, yeah.
And overall, like even though I do have a few very based picks, I think I'm actually happy with what I've got. I think it's going to be SK Hong Kong in grand finals. I think China's going to be a really close third, and then like Poland, Brazil, and USA are going to be fighting for that top 4 spot. That's what I think, honestly. I think SK are gonna win it. That's like that's my most definite one. Even though it's gonna be close, like Hong Kong are super good too. Yeah, I'm actually happy with what I've picked. I don't think it's too egregious. I was scared that it was gonna be outrageous. And I did originally have a few outrageous ones, like I put Thailand in D&Q, and I might have placed Indo at like a little too low, but I genuinely think like the other teams above are better than Indo, even though Indo have
lot
a
of good
similar
teams.
roster to what they got last year. Yeah, I think this year is so much more stacked. Honestly, there are so many more like super stacked teams, and it's a lot harder to tell who the kind of definite favorite is. I think for everyone, unanimously, most people would agree that probably Hong Kong are the biggest favorites to win this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is like no sure way, like guaranteed at all.
Well, the main competition is China. It's I think it's on paper at the moment.
Yeah.
Again, my conception is also that SK will look even better.
I'm super hyped though. I'm so hyped for
Yeah.
this because there are so many great teams in this 20. Honestly.
I have always personally found 3WC to be the most exciting of the World Cups. Just I feel like, I mean, especially given the teams that have won every year, it's a new team every year, and
That's true.
feels like there's always something new around the corner, something something
very,
crazy
very
to expect.
true.
Even if it's it's the second win for Hong Kong or South Korea, that unto itself is, a new thing because 3WC's never seen that. So
Yeah, I mean in 3WC, like a 2-time champion is actually huge.
yeah,
So
yeah.
It's,
It's I don't know.
I can see
It's
that.
also just extremely competitive. It's I feel like far more teams are close to each other in this tournament than others, especially in kind of the middle of the pack. I think it's extremely competitive. But yeah. yeah,
Bet
looking
you
forward
the
to this year.
USA is the
Gonna be-
only team to have gotten top 3 multiple times.
I mean, sounds
Which
about right.
was always
US.
a
USA number
different
one or what,
position.
guys?
Well, dudes. Yeah, no, I had a ton of fun. Thank you for having me. It was
Yeah,
very, very fun.
Is that it? I
I
think
enjoyed.
we're winding down. I don't think.
Are we
think
are we
that's it.
going to
Yeah.
are we going to settle it here? Are these the final predictions? Full stop.
Yeah.
Jova.
Yep.
Wait,
Take
shit,
your,
I
take
have
your
UK on twice.
screenshots. Get your Twitch clips ready,
Wait,
guys.
wait,
Get them ready
Yeah.
on Twitter.
Wait, what's the other team that I got rid of? Shit, it's
don't know.
over! I can't find the team. Let me
What
find
is
it.
this man doing?
Schizophrenia. Hold up. Argentina. Thank you, Lightwine. God, you're so handsome. Much appreciated. I'm gonna quickly...
Are you gonna move?
See?
Are you gonna move Sweden up now?
The Swedes are the best, man.
No, he's
Look,
putting Argentina
they're
in
looking
D tier
out
and
for you,
staying
okay?
no, bump us up.
There. Yes, no bump us up. Get him
Oh,
in there.
okay. You know what? I will have a lot of faith. There is faith and objective thought.
I'm
There are
not
two different
seeing
things.
the faith on the screen right
No,
now.
no, listen. There's a difference between thinking what will happen and hoping what will happen.
Okay,
look.
whatever you say,
Look,
man.
he's got his own country in D tier, all right?
Yeah, come
you
on,
can't
guys.
complain. You can't complain.
me
He's
some
got his own
slack.
country in D tier.
This guy has a bridge to sell me. What the fuck is hope, man? What
The
are you
whole-
talking about?
The whole
my
Swedish
God.
community have like snipers.
What
on
do
me
you
right now,
mean?
dude. Oh my god.
God damn it, dude.
Guys, it's okay. Scylla, it's okay, dude. Scylla, I got my own country in D tier, okay? It's fine. We're even, bro, okay?
Yeah, I'm a betrayer. I don't. I'm faithless. That's.
Oh, all right. I think that's it, though,
Alright.
dudes. I think
Yes.
that's settled. These are our predictions for 3-digit World Cup.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching. That's it for the stream. Qualifiers pool is on the sheet. Nick, what's up with schedules? What's going on? With that?
You shall explain that in the qualifier announcement. Very
Excellent.
shortly.
Beautiful.
Okay. Look for announcements. Thanks for watching. Go practice the pool. Prove us wrong or don't. Get your Twitch clips and screenshots ready for Twitter. Have fun playing. Thanks for watching. See you later.
Goodbye.